So I think what I realized that I don't like about the love languages is just how like generic it's become. Like if it can be used as like a good tool, but I think it's when it's so cliche. Maybe that's what I just don't like. I don't like it, the summary of people.
Yeah.
Like you're just quality touch or oh, you're acts of service. I don't like yeah, like quality time, physical
Not
touch.
like physical touch is quality. What is that?
I really struggle with the 5 love languages and memorizing them.
Hello and welcome to the Christians Who Date podcast. I'm Andrea Alley, and I'm sitting here with 2 of my favorite people, and they're both wearing stripes.
Born is
That's right.
my name. I thought you were gonna say coming to me live or coming to you live from Austin, but you didn't.
Coming to you live. Except every time I say that, it's a lie.
That's true.
Sorry,
pre-recorded.
Oh my god.
'Cause
Well,
it's
it's live for
pre-recorded.
me.
It's live for us right now. Yeah.
In the flesh.
Maybe
Wait.
one day we'll have a live podcast. We'll invite people. That'll be fun.
Well, yeah, we should. And then also, do you want to share your name, my striped twin?
Yes. I'm Callie Christofferson, and my striped twin is
Lauren Bornique. We're both wearing striped shirts.
That's right. Both very excited about that.
Yeah, we
I'm
were.
sad I'm not wearing stripes.
It's because you're our fearless leader. So you can't look like us.
Only some of the time. Callie and I used to match when we were roommates.
That's true.
Remember when
that was really nice.
We went to a party like literally matching, like the same white t-shirt and jeans.
It's a classic outfit. You can't beat that.
I was gonna say, I feel like I wore that the other day.
I just remember. Was that when we had the same jeans? Because we had those mom jeans for a while.
Yes, we did. I think I still have them. They're a great pair of jeans. Old Navy, classic.
Old Navy, some good mom jeans. Yeah.
We're thankful.
Because I remember thinking like we are so matchy right now. Like, extremely matchy.
But when it's accidental, it makes it okay. If you purposely plan to match, then it's somehow like not okay. So
it is hilarious if you match that well on accident.
It is.
Hey, that's what happens when you're in love.
Yeah, so true.
Speaking of being in love, somebody fell in love with Callie this week.
Always. It's like a typical week. It's a typical week for Callie.
Just a typical Tuesday.
It was a typical Tuesday.
Always.
So I was, just out and about one day during this last week. And I think I was just at a coffee shop. I was walking back to my car, and there's this guy walking past me. He has his AirPods in. We just like make eye contact, and I just like smile at him, super normal. He smiles back at me. Keep walking, get to my car, and someone's like, "Hey, excuse me." And I turn around, and it's this guy. I was like, "Hey," and he's like, "I'm so sorry. I just wanted to introduce myself to you really quick." So says his name's Michael. He's like, "Hey, I'm Michael. Nice to meet you. What's your name?" I tell him, I'm like, "I'm Callie." He's like, "Oh, awesome." He's like, "Honestly, I just walked by you and I thought you were super attractive. So I just wanted to introduce myself." And I was like, "Way to go, Michael." Like, that's really good. So we just
Mad props.
Briefly chit chat, and he was just like, "Oh, are you on your way somewhere?" I was like, "Yes, I'm grabbing something for work." And he's like, "Oh, where do you work?" And so I tell him the church I work for, and he's like, "Oh, no way. Like, I actually have a friend that goes, and I was thinking of going sometime." And I was like, "Yeah, well, feel free to check it out." I tell him when the times are and stuff. So I'm, low key evangelism dating always.
Always.
And he just says like, "Well, I'd love to get your number, like if that's okay." And I just tell him, I'm like, "Hey, I'm super flattered. I do have a boyfriend though, but like, thank you for just like asking and being bold and stuff." And he's like, "Oh yeah, like no problem." And he's like, "Well, have a great day," and kept walking. And I was like, he does such a good job. Like, I was just
This
so
guy
impressed
crushed
with
it.
him. Like,
He's amazing.
made it so normal, not awkward. And, you know, he was walking by, had like headphones in. So you kind of just assume people are like, you know, out of it or not present. So the fact that he just turned around, came back, talked to me, and then just like, what's the word? Shot his shot. I
Shot
guess
it.
is the
Shot
word.
his shot.
He shot the
Shot it.
shot.
Shot the shot. And like it wasn't weird at all, super normal. And then he was just like, okay, cool. Like, it was nice meeting you, and then just kept walking. So it can be
Took
that
it like a
simple.
man.
It can be that simple.
I
You
love
think someone's
that.
attractive, go tell them. Like, it was
I
good.
appreciate that. If that happened to me in LA, I'd be like, this man is about to kidnap me.
So Lauren, oh my god.
Like getting your pepper spray out.
And then he's like asking where I work, and I'm like, oh no, he's gonna stalk me now.
You're like,
So
That's why
Yeah.
your boyfriend didn't do that. He waited for you to come talk to him.
that's
Oh
right.
my gosh. Anyways, another story for another day. But
It's different out here, Lauren. It's not.
yeah, I
It's not
know.
LA.
Montana is so chill.
We're
So
very
Oh my
chill.
gosh.
very thankful
So.
for that. Very grateful. That's a great story. And Callie did say, she was like, yep, I still got it going on. You know?
Did, I'm like, guys, still
was
got
very
it.
proud.
Like, come on, we know.
We know. I'm like, tell me something I don't know.
Seriously.
Very nice. Very nice. Well,
Oh,
ladies, what are we talking about today?
I just told Callie this could be our most controversial podcast yet.
She did. She did indeed.
We are talking about two things the Christians hold dear. One of them, some of the Christians hold dear, and some of them are very mad about.
a little
So,
spicy.
a
Depends
little
on
dicey
where you're at.
tonight. Yeah. We're gonna say some things that we don't even all agree on. So it's gonna
There
be
we go.
exciting. I know. So we're gonna hit two hot topics that are kind of related: the 5 love languages and the Enneagram. We're
Dun,
gonna
dun,
chat.
dun.
I was gonna do
We're
the same
gonna
thing,
do-
Lauren. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
You're gonna get kind of our hot takes. They're not super hot, warm takes because they're not gonna be like really quick. But
Yeah.
what are our thoughts on 5 love languages, Enneagram, specifically with dating, of course, because you guys know
Yes, of course.
we're the Christians who date. Like,
Yeah. For sure. Well, what if we started talking about 5 love languages and then we could go
Okay.
into Enneagram?
Totally.
For any of those that don't know the 5 love languages, this is like just, a way to connect in dating. And it's like a very stereotypical question people will ask maybe on their first date
Yes.
or talk about in relationships, which is
Yep.
not all bad, but it is, I think it's kind of cheesy at times. But my hot take. So anyways, the 5 love languages that people talk about, there's books about it. I think I have a book on my shelf I'm looking at right now that talks about like the 5 love languages, which is so
It's
funny.
Gary Chapman. He wrote the 5 love languages book and
there
all
we
the
go.
related ones.
Yeah. So there's 5. There is physical touch is a love language. So these are ways that you can love someone or feel loved. So physical touch, there is acts of service. So serving someone, doing the dishes for them, cleaning, picking them up. There is
Really picking
words.
them up.
Wait, what did you say?
At the
Physically?
airport? Is that what you're
Yes,
thinking?
at the airport.
Oh, that
Oh my
is
gosh.
a love language. Oh, it's so
Just
No,
true.
seriously.
randomly
Yeah.
lifting them.
Physically, yeah, any of it. The words of affirmation, so sweet text, cards, affirming someone. There is let's see, you guys have to help me with the other 2 I'm missing.
Or just the last
Gifts.
Gifts.
Yeah.
Gifts is the other one, so you can like gift gifts, or you love receiving gifts. And then
Did
there
you say
is
quality time?
Did I not say quality time yet? I don't think I did. That's like my favorite.
one. Oh,
And then quality time.
I feel like they're all
Okay.
quality time is
We're-
one of ours.
I'm like, how did I not say that as the first one? I said physical touch because that's probably my top. So,
Yeah.
anyways, so those are the 5: physical touch, acts of service,
like a test.
the pressure
acts
of
of
naming all of them.
service. acts of service, quality time, gifts, and what's the fifth?
Words?
Words of affirmation.
We
Thank
need
you
to.
all.
We just need to like write them all down.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep them all in your head.
I
Something
can
about
Google them.
memorization. You literally can Google them. You can literally learn like so much more about it. Sorry for anyone who I just brought like so much confusion. But anyways, okay. So those are our 5. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Did you ever talk about these in dating? Have you talked about like how to like bring connection in dating through these 5? I would love to hear.
Yeah, I think that this has been a really helpful tool in my life. I think about when I was like 18, 19 is probably when I first like really started looking at them, at these like different love languages. And it made a lot of sense because I could think about moments in my life where like my mom would talk to me about something and she would feel really unloved when I didn't like pick up like my room or something. And I didn't understand that. I was like, it's my room. Like, why do you not, like, how does that affect you? And then later learning, like, oh, acts of service is her, like, number one, like, love language. And if I ever, like, cleaned the kitchen or did stuff like that, she would just be over the moon. But if it wasn't done, she would feel really, like, just, like, really deeply about that. And that confused me. I was like, why is this such a big deal? And so learning that, I was like, oh, so I think in certain situations, learning people's love languages has just helped me have like a better context for them. It's not always like the number one thing, but it is like a tool that I feel like can be helpful. Because I've also in other like relationships or friendships, I feel like I've done things that like I really enjoy, but to the person I'm doing it for, it doesn't necessarily translate as love. It's just kind of like, oh, thanks. And then that's it. And you're like kind of confused why they're not reacting more or something. And I'm like, oh, it's because it's just not hitting them the same way it would hit me necessarily. And that doesn't mean they're like not grateful or whatever, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just not the same as it might be for you or for somebody else. So that's my like brief opinion on it. And I can come back. But Andrea, what do you think?
I wonder if all moms are acts of service.
Oh, I believe that I think that it becomes your love language if you're a mom.
No, I think so too. Yeah. Cause that was my mom too. Like she really, that's like the number one thing she always wanted was just me to like help out.
Yep. Mine too.
That went further than anything else. Yeah. Just like cleaning the kitchen or something like that. So yeah, I think it's because moms, honestly, they're doing a lot. And I think a lot of times they feel like everything's up to them. And so, yeah, I think when you like acknowledge it and help out, a lot of moms are thankful for that. Yeah, let's see. Me and love languages. I do think it's funny when, like Lauren said, when somebody asks you that on like the first date, because I'm like, you don't need to know my love language right
It's
now.
true. You're like later.
I don't even know if I'm like, I don't even know if we're gonna like ever see each other again after this, you know?
That's so good.
It's very, very real.
Yeah, or I think it's funny. It's kind of like in small groups when they, whenever they force you to like get deep with people that you just, and it feels so forced and like unorganic, like, and it's like, let's all go around and share our love languages. I'm like, none of these people need to know my love language.
I love lots of touch, but I'm like, but I don't want any of you to touch me.
Literally. Yeah. I'm like physical touch, but not from any of you. Yeah. But yeah, so I think it is funny to me. Like, I feel like Christians bring it up like too much. There's too much hype around the love language. I'm like, chill out, you guys. But there's things I could chill out on too, I could see how within marriage it's helpful to know. And then I'm even trying to think, like, I think it was helpful, like once I was in a relationship with someone, it was kind of helpful to know. But honestly, like, personally, I just feel like I feel loved with all 5. And so I think that's the other thing I have a hard time with is I've never been like, I can't believe he got me a gift. Like that's so materialistic, like I'm like whether my boyfriend hugged me or got me a gift or said nice things, like all
Anything.
5. Yeah, I was like, this is great. And and it wasn't like, I don't know. I kind of liked having all 5. Like like yeah, I'm just thinking about if you were in a relationship with like no physical touch or no words, like it would be, I don't know. I'm like, I kind of feel like all 5 need to be there. But anyway, so yeah, I feel like love hate maybe with with the 5 love languages. I think the good thing about it is it does help you realize that if you're loving someone else, you have to think about like, how do I serve them? Like you can't, it's
Mm-hmm.
not about you. Like you're trying to make sure, it just gets you more like, what are their needs? Like, what are they thinking? What are they feeling? It forces you to put yourself in their shoes instead of just, yeah, like, I don't know, assuming that that you know what they need or what they're thinking or you know how to love them well. And I do think there's truth to like when you're dating someone, you are learning how to love them well. I think that is
Yeah.
something that you're learning. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Lauren.
Oh, the love languages. So funny. I don't know. I just think there's so much more in life to talk about. So maybe that's why I just am like tired of them. I'm like, it's like from the 90s. Like, I don't know. It's just I'm like, there's
He
so
has
much
made
more.
a killing off that book. Yeah.
No, seriously. And I think what I do appreciate love languages or the Enneagram, it gives you language for experiences, right? And it
Yeah.
helps kind of
Yeah.
like summarize some things of like how to love people, which everyone sucks at dating and love anyways at times. So it's like, please,
Right.
anybody help us. Like,
Yeah.
how do we know how to do all this? Um, but I was just thinking about it was like 2 weeks ago, I was on a retreat with our coaches and the sweet man just like is trying to like, get to know people, and out of nowhere we're doing the dishes and he looks at me out of nowhere and he goes, so what's your love languages? And I was just like, I was like, I don't want to talk about this. Like, I don't know. It's just like, but I was like, he's really trying to like,
Yeah.
like it's like a get to know you
Yeah.
question. So I just go,
Yeah.
oh, quality time. Then I like change the subject. So I'm like, I don't want to know how you feel loved. Like, I don't care. Like, just because I'm like, I don't know. To me, sometimes love languages do feel more like you, of course, like just love people well, unless they're like, hey, I don't feel loved in this way. Then it's like, okay, don't do that. Like, I have a
Yeah.
friend who she's like, yeah, I don't like gifts really, unless it's like very practical. And so I'm like, okay, I'll give her practical gifts or like quality time,
Yeah.
or I know Andrea needs quality time, like when she comes visit, but those are like simple things. But in dating relationships, I'm like, no, I just, all of it is like, I'm so thankful for anything. And
Right.
if there's a way that I feel loved, I'll like voice it. Like, so like my boyfriend now, I'm like, if you get me flowers, you could get me as many flowers as you want. I will feel loved every time. Like, I've told him this, just because I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel loved as a girl. Like, get me flowers all the time, please. And so I think you can voice like how you feel loved to people. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make it disingenuine that when they do it, it's just like, hey, that does make me feel really appreciated. So I do think it's good to know how to voice like how you feel loved and ask like, how do you feel loved? But I just think it's kind of a funny thing. But some people says it's like really helped them know what to do. But
Yeah.
to me, I'm like, if your highest score, because you can test yourself online, is words of affirmation, like if Callie's was words of affirmation, yeah, I'll affirm her, but I'm not just gonna affirm her and be like, well, I'll never see you again, like
Not gonna love you in any other way.
I'm not
Just
gonna love you.
words.
Never gonna visit you. I'm just gonna send you some random text once in a while that I
That's all
like
you
you.
need. Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
all you
So,
need.
not saying that people do that, but I think sometimes people can kind of dumb it down as like,
Yeah.
oh, well, that's just
Yeah.
what they need is that physical touch randomly.
Wait, I have a question.
What?
Have you guys, because I think we have like similar, but one of my top ones is physical touch. So, have you guys ever like been in a situation where somebody you don't know that well asks you your love languages, and then you're like, you tell them physical touch, and then they
No.
start trying to
Oh,
incorporate?
oh
Literally,
no.
I haven't
Awkward,
told.
like pats on the shoulder,
No,
and you're
no.
like, make this end.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, okay, on online dating, they'll be like, I feel love through physical touch. And I'm like, you
Yeah.
sicko. Like, like, and I'm like, you weirdo.
Like, that's
Like,
disgusting.
like, I'm never gonna date you or like you on this profile because you want physical touch. It's like, duh. Like, if you want to date, you usually have physical touch. Anyways. So,
It's a
I don't
part
know.
of dating, yeah.
That's what I mean. I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
my top love languages is physical touch. It's like, duh, for all of us.
Yeah. I feel like
So,
there's always a disclaimer on physical touch. Like, it's like, well, I'm physical touch, but like only like if we're, there.
Yeah, we're good friends or
And then there's
We have to
something.
be there.
and then there's the person that really does love physical touch, and they're like, I love physical touch, and they want to hug everyone, and I'm like, that's terrible as well. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
wanna hug you.
Yeah. It is funny because we come from like, I feel like we come from church culture that you hug all the time. Like you hug goodbye and you hug
Yeah.
hello. Like
Yep.
that's just how
It's true, but there's a way you do it. It's like I don't know, like you definitely have space in between. It's not like a body to body hug.
It's true.
That's usually how I do
Yeah.
it.
Oh my gosh.
I usually just go
Callie
for
wants
it.
a real hug.
I do, unless it's someone
Yeah.
creepy, or if a guy is clearly going for a side hug, I'm not gonna like make him give me a full on hug. So you just got to read the body language that's coming towards you. So
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's
But I
true.
was gonna say I've been on dates before where I'm like, oh, we're gonna hug goodbye, because that's in my head. Like I'm like, oh yeah, that's what our culture is like.
True.
But then
True.
they'll be like, they won't hug me, or they like won't go in for one. So then you're just like, okay, bye. Like
Oh my gosh, I can't. I feel like I've
So
been that person.
interesting.
I'm like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to touch you.
Well, we
I
ended
don't
up
wanna
dating,
touch
so it wasn't like he
What?
didn't want to hug me. I don't know. It was interesting.
Okay, first dates, that's a whole other thing off topic
Yeah.
of love languages. Is
Yeah.
guys can be afraid to like touch a girl because they don't want the
that
girl
might
to
have
be
been
like,
more.
he only wants me for my body, you know? And I'm like, I want you for your body. No, I'm joking.
Lauren's like, I want
Oh
it.
my gosh.
I'm being silly. I'm being silly.
Wow. Okay.
So, do we have anything else to say about love languages?
I was gonna say, I thought it was funny that you said your friend loves practical gifts, because my mom hates practical gifts. Like, there's like a story of my dad getting her Tupperware for Christmas, and she was so mad at him.
That's amazing.
That's pretty incredible.
Like he's not allowed to get her like.
Okay, so there's
kitchenware.
ways. Obviously, there's ways people
It's
feel
just
loved
hilarious.
and not loved,
Yeah,
which is good
it's
to
so
know.
funny.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
It's
So-
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say one more thing, unless we need to move on from this.
No,
one.
Andrea, go for it. Go for it.
I feel like there's bonus love language.
Oh my gosh, this girl's on crack. This girl's on love crack.
But Cal and I both love getting crap.
Yeah. Oh, that
the sixth love
is
language.
the
Yes.
ultimate love language for me.
I love it. Me
Yep.
too. Yeah. I feel so known.
Yes. Do.
I'm like, you know me enough to make fun of me. You see me.
Even if people don't know me, but they just like throw me under the bus, I feel really loved.
Yeah.
So,
Me too.
yeah.
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 That's
Just had to
good.
cover that real quick.
No, that's great. That's great. So I think what I realized that I don't like about the love languages is just how like generic it's become. Like if it can be used as like a
Yeah.
good tool, but I think it's when it's so cliche, like this person 2 weeks ago being like, what's your
Oh,
love
yeah,
language?
yeah.
I'm like, please ask me like a
Yeah.
creative question. Maybe that's what I just don't like. I don't like it, the summary
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're just quality touch, or oh, you're acts of service. I don't like yeah, like quality touch. Physical
Not
touch.
like physical touch is quality. What is that?
I really struggle with the 5 love languages and memorizing them. So anyways, I just think it's maybe I don't like it that people just kind of put people in buckets and that's all you are. Buckets.
Yeah.
Bucket.
I might be out of it tonight. I'm like, what is happening? Too
Yeah,
many
you're making
electrolytes.
fun of me.
Too many electrolytes.
So
Got an
good.
electrolyte high right now.
I know.
Yeah. I will say, I don't think I've been in as many situations as you guys where like a random person will ask me. It's been more like groups I'm part of or like friends I know. So if it was one-off experiences, that is weird because it's like, it's kind of pointless for me to tell you this because we're not going to grow in relationships. So
yeah. I have
that's just funny.
deflected. I have deflected with, oh, it's getting crap.
Oh,
so
that's funny.
You
That's
can
funny.
take that one. Yeah, you can take that one, Callie. If somebody like asked that question way too early.
Great.
You can be like, I just like getting crap.
Yeah. And I'm like, I want them all, you know. give me all the love.
You should just for strangers you should
new language.
say gifts because then
that's so real.
I don't know, gift cards or something.
Cash money.
Yeah, money.
You have to buy my love.
I'll give you my Zelle.
That's right.
That's actually this podcast love language. If anyone wants to donate.
Stray dog. That's bad. Bad girl.
Andrea Alley at Zelle. I don't know what it is.
Andrea Alley at Zelle.
You can tell how often I use Zelle.
Oh my gosh.
So good. Okay, well.
All right, moving on.
From love languages. Now this is where we might lose podcasters. We might lose followers. Let's talk, as I have a pen out. Let's talk about the Enneagram. I think we should start with the Enneagram is share our numbers and what that means. And then we can go from there. And Enneagram and dating, of course.
Should we maybe do like a brief
address the controversy?
Say what the Enneagram is and just give a little bit of context for people if they don't know what that is.
Of course. So
the Enneagram is a personality typing system, and it describes 9 distinct personality types, each with a unique core motivation, desires, and fears. It's a tool used in various settings like counseling, business, and spiritual development to help individuals better understand themselves and their interactions with others. There you go. Straight from Google.
Callie, that was amazing memorization and reading skills.
Was that the AI? Was that Google AI?
Yes, it was.
Okay,
I love that.
Okay.
So good. Okay, so there are 9 types, and then we'll share our type, and it'll be fun. And then we'll talk about it in dating and if we've dated other types. So there's number 1, the reformer. Number 2 is the helper. Number 3, the achiever. Number 4, the individualist. Number 5, the investigator. Number 6, the loyalist. Number 7, the enthusiast. 8, the challenger. And 9, the peacemaker. You can look these up online. I recommend the Enneagram Institute. If you really want to dive deep into the Enneagram, you can even take an Enneagram test. I used to teach this to freshmen, actually, because it's great identity development. So there you go.
Nice. Good way to get to know yourself, you could say.
Yeah. And it creates great language. It's fun. It's a fun topic to talk about.
Yes.
So as long as you don't summarize people by their number.
If you don't put them in a bucket.
Don't put them in a bucket or a box.
That's right.
Like bucket.
You, Andrea or Callie, do you guys want to share your number and some things about that?
Yeah, I can share my number. I am a 9. Which is the peacemaker. And actually, what got me on board with the Enneagram was I was listening to a podcast where they were talking about 9s. It was the Road Back to You podcast. And I felt like this guy just like described me to a T, like read my mail. And I kind of felt like I had just had a counseling session because of the things he was saying. So I was like, dang, this is real. So yeah, it's been helpful for me for sure.
Yes.
But Callie, what are you, Callie?
I am a 1, and don't want to get too deep into it, but when you have your like number, there's also like wings that are on either side of your number. So for me, I could be a 1 wing 2 or a 1 wing 9. And I'm a 1 wing 9. And so I'm like the optimist is one of the titles for me. But it's very much like I'm kind of driven by doing like what I believe is right, and kind of moving in more of a like perfectionistic way. But yeah, that is my number.
So good.
Yeah.
When I learned about the Enneagram, gosh, 2017-ish or before, I for sure was like, I am the enthusiast, which is the 7, which is kind of this like outgoing, like, I don't know, like super fun, loving type of person. And I thought that I was that for like 4 or 5 years. And then
Me
little by
too.
little, my close friends were like, I think you're the achiever. And I realized, oh my gosh, I totally am the achiever. So I had this whole identity crisis. And the achiever is like success oriented, image driven, adaptive, like excelling. And I was like, oh, I actually just manipulated my identity to try to make myself look like an enthusiast. And that's what the achiever can do, is it can sometimes twist things for its success. So that was really mind-blowing. But anyway, that's a whole other chapter of my life. But yeah, so I'm the achiever, which is Enneagram 3. So there you go. So we're all across the board, which is kind of fun as friends.
I
So
still feel like you have some 7 in you.
totally. Like you can't just like, I think we could have all the numbers, but it's like what you at your core usually like lean into the most.
Yeah.
So
did I give enough details on? I feel like I didn't describe what mine, and should I talk about it more?
Yeah, you totally can.
I just said, yeah, I was just talking about that podcast, but peacemaker, basically you just want harmony. You want everyone to get along. You don't like conflict. And yeah, you can be, I feel like the podcast, the crazy thing that said was like, you can have a hard time with momentum. Like if you're in like vacation mode, you can have a hard time getting out of it. And if you're in work mode, you can have a hard time getting out of work mode. And I was like, this is crazy. And it just blew my mind that they would know that at that level, like things about me, I guess. Because I was like, this is so true. But then I started using that to my advantage because I knew how I was wired. So yeah, I feel like those are the main. I don't know. There's probably more things about a 9, but the big thing is you are very driven by keeping the peace.
Yeah, it's fun. And why we say the Enneagram can be controversial, depending on some Christians wondering where the origins of the Enneagram is. I think for me personally, I have total peace about the Enneagram, but I think it's like, this is just like a fun, helpful language to talk to people and learn more about them and create language around yourself. Because at the end of the day, I'm not defined by this number, but I can like be like, yeah, those are some really true things about who I am and my personality, and it helps you be able to describe yourself and get to know your friends and family and whoever you're dating. So I'd be curious for you guys. Have you talked a lot about Enneagram in your dating? Has that helped your dating scene? Tell me more.
Yeah. I can jump in. I think it was like my first date with my now boyfriend, and we were just talking about ourselves, and that topic came up. And I was like, yeah, like, do you know what you are on the Enneagram? And he's like, yeah, I'm an 8. And the 8 is the challenger, which Lauren said. And funny enough, out of all of the 9 types, that's probably the type that I was like, I'll never be with an 8. Like, no way. Because like I said, with the number that I have, it's a 1 wing 9. So like Andrea talked about, the characteristics of peace, harmony, wanting everybody to get along. 8s are more like confrontational, like have no problem just like being more aggressive and I would say peace is not the number one priority for them. So in my head, I was like, there's no way like I would be with someone like that. And there are also like people that I know with some of those characteristics that I just didn't jive with in the past. And so I was just like, oh, that would never happen. So he told me that, and I was like, oh wow,
We'll see how this goes.
We'll see how this goes. But I will say I've actually been so thankful for all the strengths that my boyfriend has in these areas, because he's not afraid to like have confrontation. He is very assertive, goes for what he wants, and there's so many qualities that he has that I've wanted in other people, but I think most people I was like going on dates with and stuff, they had more of like a just like easygoing, nonchalant kind of personality. And there are things that I was missing in those people that he has because of the way that he is. And so I'm like, oh wow, like I'm actually so thankful that I'm dating him, because he's very strong in these areas that I'm really not. And I feel like I've learned a lot from him and how he is wired. And I really admire like the way that he goes about things. So it's ended up being really good. But in the beginning, I was like, wow, we'll see if this happens or not, because I didn't think I'd ever be with someone like that. So yeah, it's been a journey for sure.
So good. I love it.
Yeah. To be against an 8, no fun. To have an 8 on your side, kind of great.
It's really nice. Very loyal too. Very loyal people.
Yes. I feel like 9s can appreciate the loyalty of 8s, even though the conflict scares the crap out of us. So, yeah.
Yes.
Sure. You want to go or you want me to go?
I can go. Let's see. I feel like honestly, the number one thing that comes up for me is that I've dated 9s, or how many 9s have I dated? At least one 9. And I did not like it.
Okay.
And
Why?
it is really weird to like to kind of see some tendencies and understand why they're doing it, because it's the way that you're wired also, but at the same time be like annoyed by it. So yeah, I think I feel like we were kind of boring together. I feel like
You're
some
never
other
boring.
Well, that's
Together, Lauren,
because
they
we're
were boring.
together. Oh, okay.
I feel like other personalities bring out the fun. It's almost like, because 9s are fun, but like, I don't know, together we're just like pretty chill. I don't know.
That's actually true. True.
And so I think I had just had other relationships with different numbers that were so playful and like brought out this really fun bantery side, and we just didn't have that. And it could have been us specifically, you know, because you never want to put people in a bucket. I don't want to say that, you know,
As I always say, never put people in a bucket.
Don't want to say that all 9s would end up this way, but I just remember being like, I don't know, I think we're like too chill, like together we're just like a little bit, we're too similar, I felt like. So
I remember the phrase you said was like, someone might need to check if there's a pulse happening, like when we're hanging out, because it's just so chill. It's like, oh wow,
love that.
Yeah. The other thing with one of them specifically is that the other thing I said was, I think we're alike in all the ways that you should be different, and we're different in all the ways you should be alike.
Oh wow.
Like, yeah, because some of our like values or just viewpoints on like different things, they weren't totally different, but our perspectives were like decently different in some of those types of areas. And so I don't know, it was almost like, I think different personalities with like the same view or the same like core values would be better. So anyway, yeah. that was that. And then I do feel like there's certain personalities I feel like I always have chemistry with, but I'm always like, do they have chemistry with everyone? Like, but like sevens for sure.
And what's the 7 again?
The enthusiast. But I'm like, they're just charming the socks off everyone. Like,
They're
this is
very
just
charming.
yeah, they're just charming people. But threes can be like that too. Like, that's why
Yeah.
Lauren charmed me so much.
Lauren.
Yeah.
Lauren's a charmer.
We charm a way to get people to like us. It's not always the best.
Yeah. Well, it worked on me.
And me. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. I think I'd have a hard time being with an 8, but
It's
prove me
great,
wrong.
Andrea. You might
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. And honestly, it depends. So this is a perfect thing. We all have numbers that we're like, oh, I would never quote quote date this number. And I think that's actually a huge bummer
Yeah.
for you not to like explore that. So that's what I mean is like that's where Enneagram can get maybe a little, I wouldn't say dangerous, but just like don't summarize a person by a number because we really
Yeah.
don't know. They might not even know their correct number. They might think they're one. And so I love like when you're dating someone, really getting to know them outside of that, or like what does that number mean to you, or like how do you live that out, or and really just make sure that you understand like where they're coming from, because I think people will be like for me, I'm like, oh, I'll never date a 4, but it's like you have to really know the person to know fully, like, could you date them or whatever. And just like Kelly was like, I don't know if I could ever have dated an 8, and here she's dating an 8, and she's like, wow, there's like so many
Yeah.
strengths this person carries. So I think that's
Yeah.
someone for people listening, of like, get to know the person, even if they have a number that you're like, huh, interesting. I don't know if that would click with
Yeah.
me. Like, who knows? So
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like at this point I have so many things that I have so many hills I'm dying on. I probably wouldn't die on that one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, well, I'm already dying on like you have to have a good relationship with Jesus and like some other things like that. That I'm like,
exactly.
I can't throw Enneagram in there too. But
Yeah.
Totally. And Enneagram really is a tool to be able to just get to know people more and yourself more and
right.
create language
Yeah.
around it. There's actually, if you go on the Enneagram Institute, it's really fun is there's like this Enneagram relationships type. So you can like say, like, for instance, I'm a 3. I can see how am my relationship to 9s, or how am I in romantic relationships to a certain number. And like
Yeah.
it can actually kind of like really help create language to like some dynamics that would be helpful in your relationship and
Yeah.
not, and or how do you get along with that type of person. And it's helped me in some like kind of dating funks with certain people, or to better understand them. So there you go.
I've looked that up before
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is kind of nice because it tells you like these are the things you're gonna have to be really intentional about.
Yeah, totally. It helped me. I dated a 9 years ago, and we were having
We're
relationship
the worst.
difficulties. No, you're great. Romantically, I was dating a 9, and that was rough.
Romantically dating.
A 9. Best friends with a 9, awesome. So anyways, but I just remember like looking into our relationship difficulties and being like, well, hopefully this can solve us, but it didn't. You know, so but yeah, I've dated seriously a 9, a 3 that was like me, and then now a 5. And it's all of them I think have come with like their pros and cons. I don't think Enneagram was like what made or break us or in any way. Like, like because they
You're
were
like, we're
this,
breaking up because you're
because
also a 3.
yeah, we're the same. I actually, a lot of it, I was like, I love that ambition you have, because it was like me. I'm like, oh my gosh. So, and then now I'm like, you're so interesting. Like, you think so deeply about everything, with the 5, because the 5 is, oh my gosh, it's
The
the
Investigator.
investigator. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So there you go. So, which is like, whoa, you're so smart. You like really are brainy,
Yeah.
nerdy.
It
So
is like the dad personality, I feel like.
That's true.
awesome.
My dad's a 5. I don't know. I feel like I know a lot of
So
dads
brainy.
that are 5s. Yeah.
Precious. Actually, that's funny because when I met my now boyfriend, I met him in public and I was like, this guy definitely is a dad. Like, and he's not at all.
Yeah,
I'm like,
dad. Yeah,
he's
dad
dad
vibes.
vibes. I was like, he's definitely a dad. Like, there's
Love
nothing
it.
in between us because he's a dad. He has a house and family and 5 kids, I bet. And then ends up he was single. So there you go.
So funny.
But anyways, okay, so dating the Enneagram, I just think like don't summarize people, but yeah, have definitely dated all types of numbers and you can get along with them and you know, but I'm never dating a 4. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
I'm being bad. I'm being bad. Throwing shade.
Callie, would you ever date a 1?
Yeah.
You would? Have you ever dated a 1?
No, I don't think I have.
Or had a crush?
Yeah, I don't think so. But
okay.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to date someone with a really similar personality as your own because I don't think I have.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see, if you're like, oh, I like this, because Lauren, it sounded like with like the ambition, you're like, oh, I love that. But then like Andrea's, she's like, this is just kind of boring. So I'd be curious to see what that'd be like. So
yeah, totally.
Who knows?
I've dated a 1 and he was totally different from Callie. So there's that too.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like you can say, I'm this number, and someone has an idea of what that means. But really within the number 2, there's a lot of variations and flavors and stuff. So again, just to drive it home, don't put someone in a bucket. So
in a bucket or a box, you know?
Get to know them as a person.
There's only one of each of us in all the world out of millions and billions. There's not one even identical to you, well, besides identical twins. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. Blows my mind. So
blows my mind.
The Enneagram.
But again, more than anything, it's a helpful tool, especially if you guys have conflict or you're not doing well. Like, I think it's just a really good tool to be like, what's maybe going on with me or whatever. So it's helpful.
Yeah, I think it creates like a good introspection, because the goal, I'd say, of the Enneagram or the love languages, but Enneagram specifically, is it helps you be like, how can I grow as a person? What are some of my weaknesses? And it's helpful when you're aware of some of your weaknesses, because then you can find ways to grow in them. Like for me, I can be manipulative. Like that's one of my weaknesses as an achiever. But it's good for me to know. Like
it's just funny. Like you talking about it makes you sound like the most like conniving. You're like, I changed myself into a 7. I get people to like me.
I'm so charming.
Dude, I like literally, I think it's the best. I'm like, I will own my stuff. Like I know it. Like I just know like my tendencies, my flesh. And so I'm like, how do I fight against not listening to my flesh? And so that's probably what I mean, is I'm happy to tell myself, I'm so old these days. I'm like, whatever, like this is what I do. And I'm trying not to do this. I'm trying to be a healthy Christian who dates. So
come on.
It is, well, and it's helpful too to, if there's anything that can give you insight on how you show up in relationships, that is really helpful. Like the classic 9 example is runaway bride. Like I would totally be her. Like I would be like, oh, how do you like your eggs? Poached? Me too. Like that's me what's it called? Like
what is it called?
Unhinged?
Unhinged, unedited, left to my own devices. I guess. I don't know.
We're struggling.
If I'm not reining myself back in, I'm like becoming whoever I date. So it's just helpful. Yeah, it's just helpful to know. Yeah.
Okay. So good.
Yeah. Any last thoughts on the Enneagram?
I don't think so.
No. Go on Enneagram Institute. That's a great way to start. Take the test if you're interested.
You spell it because it's a weird word. It's ENNEAGRAM.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Thank you.
We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
When we say we mean Andrea.
Andrea.
Lauren, send me the approved link and I'll put it in the show notes.
I will
Yeah.
do
We'll
so.
put Gary Chapman in there too with the 5
Yeah,
love
why
languages.
not?
You can put that
Why
in the show
not?
notes as
Yes,
well.
I will. Yeah, Lauren's like, I won't touch that link.
I'm being bad. I'm
Just
being
kidding.
bad.
Oh
So,
man. Okay, well, guys out there and gals, guys and gals, thanks for listening, and we will see you next time.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.